Dr. Lawrence W. Moore. I'm here with my assistant Crafty. We're just checking in on you on this Sunday night. This is going to be a scaled down version of Sunday Night Synthesis because I wanted to show you some of the stuff I was working on this week in my studio. Gave it a bit of an overhaul, and I don't know, just thought I'd invite you to check it out so as I do things different weeks, you kind of know what's going on. I didn't really change the downstairs setup too much. I just put things in cases, just packed them up, cleared it off, cleaned it out a little bit. So we don't really need to look at that. I could just be like, hey, empty table now, and it's clean. And I'll just put things up on there when I'm going to be using them. It's a live setup, so all our live gear's down there for our shows, and we basically want to be able to set things up when we need to do some rehearsing or practicing and stuff, and the rest of the time keep it kind of clear. Or if we're going to do some filming, we might use that area, but I've been doing a lot of filming up here lately. And I've also set this up that I could pretty much bring up like a little folding table and bring my synth modules up here to work with too. So let me show you at least what the setup and the idea is here. Okay, so I'm looking at the studio now, and basically what we got going on is, namely, I took out the desktop computer. So I have my Alienware laptop there to the right, hooked up to the monitor, have a USB hub back there, so the computer keyboard and mouse are hooked up to that. So basically I can use it like it's a desktop. A lot of times ergonomically I like that. Nice big monitor, keyboard, mouse right there. And what this allows me to do is then I could just take that laptop with me when I go out and stuff and I'm using it live, or I want to work on something somewhere else, all my data's on it and everything. Before I was doing a lot of syncing back and forth between the desktop and the laptop. Basically this laptop has 500 gigabyte system SSD drive, so it's lightning quick. It's a 6th generation Core i7. The desktop I had here before is like 8 years old, so it has a 1st generation Core i7. It only had like 4 gigabytes of memory. This is 16. It also has an NVIDIA GeForce card that's got 3 gigabytes of memory on it. Basically customized it back in December, so it's less than a year old and it's still, you know, pretty much close to, you know, I wouldn't say, yeah, I guess top of the line unless you're talking about the octoplexes and stuff, but basically for your quad core systems this is, you know, it's really fast and efficient computer. And since it has that system drive, it also has a data drive that's 1 terabyte, so that gives me enough space for all my current video and audio projects to be on. And then I just back it up or take older things off and put them on my cloud drive over the wireless. So no more syncing. And then over here I decided to take out the mixer. We're going to be using that live, the Mackie 1604, one of the old ones that's made in the USA. So that'll be our live mixer, and the snake went out too, because anytime I'm recording in here it's usually just voice. And so when I do that I have the Cakewalk UA101 interface there. It's on the bottom, the blue one, and it has 2 XLR combo jacks in there that I can plug mics in. It goes up to 192K sampling rate, and so it's a nice interface, really good sounding converters. And then on top of that, that's just your standard like Creative Sound Blaster 5.1 external sound card, because I do have a 5.1 speaker set up in here. I'm not going to turn around to the rears because my desk area back there is a little bit cluttered and all that, but I do have rears and subwoofer down there. And so anyway, you know, that way I can monitor things on surround sound and stuff like that when I'm just listening or watching a movie or something. And then the bottom interface, the UA101, is when I'm mixing in surround sound. So when I'm using Sonar and stuff to mix something for surround sound, I have that interface there to use with the surround sound system, but I just have like a more conventional consumer-based audio system for just listening to stuff. And basically through the patch bay I have them both there, so I can patch when I want the interface, and then it's just normal to the Sound Blaster, so normally I'm just listening and stuff. So when I'm working on stuff, I just patch the interface over to the monitors. Anyway, that's a Dave Smith Evolver there on top. I have not shown you guys that in Sunday Night Synthesis yet. That'll be coming up soon. It's a nice piece of gear. It's a mono Evolver. Really good sounds. And you can make some really good sounds with it. So I decided to keep it up here since I had the space there. It's not something that I'm going to be taking out live too much. I'm going to be using it as a studio-based keyboard. Live-wise, I'm mostly like working with my sound modules my synth modules that you've been seeing previous weeks and stuff. That's more of how, as an artist, I work live. Keyboard kind of stuff isn't really me live. But anyway, down below is a Dave Smith Prophet 08. That's the desktop module. I need to order one more dual MIDI cable to hook that up to the Novation SL Mark II here. The Cakewalk UA101 interface in the back there has MIDI ports, so basically that's how the Evolver's hooked up. But I want separate MIDI ports for the Prophet. Wake you up. And I'll be able to hook it up through. Hold on, this is on the sliding, there we go. Through the Novation here in the back. It has a USB that's hooked up. So that's how it communicates to the computer, but it also has built-in MIDI ports that I can kind of separate out so that it's almost like a second MIDI port that will be for the Prophet uniquely. And then the USB will be for this communicating to and from the computer. Because the way I use the Prophet and the Evolver is I have editor librarian software from Sound Tower that's designed for these units, so that way I can save to computer some of the patches I make, and it needs an in and out hookup through the MIDI to do that. If I was just playing the Prophet, I could have the through on the Evolver going down to the Prophet, put it on channel 2, and that way I could access it directly that way. But since it's going to be sending information to and from the computer, the through going to the Prophet wouldn't give you an output from the Prophet to the computer, which you need if you want to use the editor librarian software. So anyway, I'll have those two there. And of course, like most things in the modern era, the computer is where you have your powerful software and stuff like that. And right now, that's about the best area for Crafty to be if he wants to be on camera. Otherwise, if I move him to the side, he could sit on the subwoofer. But anyway, in the back there, nothing special, just a USB hub and an external DVD RW drive and my glasses case. So that way I can still use CDs if I need to, because I like to. I'm still getting some of my CD music library digitized and on the computer. And then in the back, printers. Epson stylus over here on the right, still good printer. I use that to print the CDs and CD materials. I manufacture myself here. And over there an HP Office Jet. It's got the scanner and printer and everything all in one. So that's about it for this week. I got the place all kind of like cleared out, cleaned up and everything. Won't be knocking things down. Every now and then you do need an overhaul, and so that's what I did. And because of that, in making sure that you know, laptop has everything that I need to do desktop stuff on it, in addition to its laptop stuff. You know, it took me some time this week. Plus this week I was teaching every day. The two schools are going simultaneously right now in the middle of the summer. I have a little extra time in August, so that's when I want to catch up on some videos and all that. Although this week I will be putting out another Reason video, because it's about time I do it. And now that the first week is done at school, I'm back into a rhythm, and I'll be able to start putting out the videos again. I just needed a week off here. Okay folks, so I'll see you next time.